I feel sorry for kids today because I think it's, they wake up and they're traumatized for breakfast with news and they're looking at everything they haven't got, and it's a snapshot of these perfect lives that you don't see how the other person on the other side is wanting what everyone else has got, or hurting themselves, or the pain it took for them to get there, or the pain they've been through in their life. You just see this perfect image, and I think it's just, I think it is really sending kids over the edge these days. Around that time, we were all searching for a bit of nostalgia, do you know what I mean? Like, no one wanted to look forward, no one wanted to really be that present because the present sucked. So we were all looking back at the better times and stuff. And for me, and I know for Jordan and for our band, was like the good times were those, 2000s when all these new metal bands were blowing up and rock was at the top of its game and stuff like that. It ended up just being like, you know what, let's stop trying to fight it and let's just make a big, fun, dumb rock song and just release it.
We hurt ourselves for fun, force feed our fear until our hearts go numb.
Device addiction it's a real addiction, do you know what I mean? But we don't talk about it because we're all doing it. It's not like cigarettes or drinking or doing drugs where some people are doing it and people gather around and say, well, we're worried about you. It's like no one talks about it because we're all fucking doing it. This song's just trying to, I guess, make some sense of it all.
Addicted to a lonely kind of love.
Social media is just this generation's heroin. Getting those likes on social media, it's addictive, do you know what I mean? It's like a drug. Symbolizes a gain in reputation, and it makes you feel liked, but it never makes you feel loved. If you give it too much time and you give that whole world too much attention and you rely on it too much for approval or whatever, it's just, there's no happy ending there.
What I want to know is how we got this stressed out, paranoid, everything is going dark, nothing makes me sadder than my head.
I want people to know that you are not your brain, do you know what I mean? You are not your brain, we are something else. We are an energy, we are a force that will be here after our brains are gone, and I think we have to remember that, we have to remind ourselves that sometimes, when you look in the mirror and you start being negative about yourself, don't, you know what I mean? Love yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to show yourself love because your brain will turn on you if you let it, do you know what I mean? And if you don't nurture that self-love, then that horrible side of your brain will win.
I'm running out of teardrops, let it hurt till it stops. I can't keep my grip, I'm slipping away from me. I
didn't know who I was. I didn't feel like me. Like the persona of me in that band had become so much of just what I lived out every day. I really struggled with my identity. The world works when it's running, right? Like when everything's running and moving and everyone's buying and consuming and working and everything, it runs. But as soon as that stops, it's fucked. As soon as something stops it doesn't work. It's so fragile, do you know what I mean? And that's how I felt as well. I felt like when I stopped and when everything I did stop, I was fragile. I wasn't strong anymore. I didn't have that power inside me and stuff. And just like we need to work out in the world, how we can go forward and not make the same mistakes again and not make this life that we're currently living in our future forever. I had to do that on myself as well on a personal level.
Oh God, everything is so fucked, but I can't feel a thing. The emptiness is heavier than you think.
It's all in your body at the end of the day. It's just sensations, but it's how can I feel so empty and so heavy at the same time? It was a trip,
I'm tripping on the edge. High as a kite, I'm never coming down. And if you hear me, guess you know how it feels to be alone.
The best thing you can do is talk. The best thing you can do is let yourself feel what you need to feel. It will get better if you want it to.
Suicidal, violent, tragic state of mind. Lost my halo, now I'm my own antichrist.
I can speak as someone who's been there, as someone who's, been in a place where I didn't care if I lived or died and trapped myself as such and, nearly lost my life to a bunch of stupid things because I couldn't care. I didn't think I would ever get better, do you know what I mean? But I found a way to talk to people, to open up, to get it out. And even though I thought I'm crazy forever, I'm never going to be fixed, I fixed myself. Do you know what I mean? It's an ongoing struggle, but life is beautiful. You know, sometimes it's hard to see that, but it is. And you don't want to die. No one really wants to die. If you don't get up, you might never see something that, you know, it might be the best day you ever have, and you'll never see that if you don't get up, if you don't try, if you don't fight for it. So this is heavy shit that I'm talking about, but I want the people listening to that to know that I feel them. Do you know what I mean? I feel what they're going through. I've been there. I go through it. I still go through it. We worry about destroying the world. That's never going to happen. We haven't got the power to destroy the world. We've only got the power to destroy ourselves. The world will be here long after we've gone, but we won't be here for very long unless we do something about it. Do you know what I mean? So it's up to everyone. Like, do you want to be here? Do you want your kids to be here? Do you want us to survive, or do you want us to go?